to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, January 27th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. We're kicking off the show today with some Flex Lewis news. For those of you who don't know, the 7-time 212 Olympia champ was the center of some internet controversy earlier in the week after Dan Solomon said that he still needed to qualify for the 22 Olympia before he would be able to compete. Now, with that being said, even though Flex technically still needs to qualify, you would think that he'll probably be extended a special invite so that he doesn't have to worry about getting a win or anything on points. And if we're all being honest with ourselves, this is what we actually want to happen. We want Flex to get that special invite because we want to see him compete. Once and for all, we want to see what it looks like when a peak Flex Lewis stands elbow to elbow with the best athletes in the open. And he's earned that right to do that. Because if it doesn't happen this year, the odds of it happening at any point in the future are probably slim to none. Moving on to the Arnold Classic, there's been a ton of speculation about what's going to happen with Classic Physique in a few weeks when all these athletes finally hit the stage. And obviously we won't have any real answers until then. So that leaves plenty of time for us to ask more questions. Questions like, do you think Urs Kalecinski can improve on the 4th place he brought to the Olympia last year? With Terrence, Breon, and Urs finishing 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and all being in the same lineup of the 2nd biggest show of the year, whoever comes out on top from that group essentially becomes the #1 title contender. And since Urs is the youngest in the group and potentially has the most room for improvement, if he takes the next step here, do you think he will be enough to push him into the winner's circle? Even with all the big-time athletes who are scheduled to hit the Classic Physique stage in Columbus, the one big name that we won't be seeing is Steve Laurius, who just so happens to have dropped a new update a few days ago. Because he sat out the whole early part of the season last year, people put high expectations on Steve when he competed in Tampa and Texas. And unfortunately, neither one of those ended up going his way, which is why he didn't end up making it back to the Olympia stage. But with that being said, this update is the best that we've seen Steve look in a long time. So if he does end up getting back on track, look out, because he's got all the tools to be a major factor in this division. If you pay attention to the news, then you probably know that the stock market has been completely a mess lately. But here's the thing about that. Savvy investors know that this can be the time to make some serious money if you know what you're doing. You've got to get while the getting is good. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't look like anyone's getting after it better than Regan Grimes is right now. In these back training clips that he released earlier this week, Regan looked like he and Milos were really starting to take things up to the next level, which will only make him even more dangerous over the next month and a half as he starts to pick up the pace. And depending on where the chips fall by the end of March, this guy's stock could be sky high, and everyone will be kicking themselves for not buying in earlier when they had the chance. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.